Today's book review is, well, this is the first book review I've ever done where I haven't finished reading the book. You can see I'm only like 145, 6, 7 pages into this incredible book, and I'm already ready to recommend it. And here it is. Without further ado, the greatest of all time, the book about Rush Limbaugh, put out by Catherine and his wife Catherine and his brother David Limbaugh. Let me say this. Years ago, I wrote an article called How Rush Limbaugh Saved My Life. He truly saved my life. I was a very lost kid, victim, kind of raised that way, and everything was happening to me instead of for me, and I kind of took it that way. And then one day, I discovered Rush Limbaugh. I heard Rush Limbaugh on the radio, and from then on, I was hooked. I mean, hooked, line, and sinker. We're talking, this is in 1993, 1994, somewhere in there. And he changed my life, and he was a constant in my life for all those decades later. And when we lost Rush, a part of me, with everything, was just, but the election in the country, and there was no longer this positive voice on the air that I could go to for hope and articulation and all the things that Rush provided for so many of us. And I just, when Catherine and David, they just released this book. I don't know, I think I've only had it for a couple of weeks now. I just found out about it, and I'll put the link to where I got the book in the notes here, so you can go get it. But it has been the most amazing book so far. It is all Rush Limbaugh. It's all his words. It's his thoughts. It's his, one of the first things that they highlight is Rush said, he will let us know when it's time to panic. And in this age, it's, if you're like me at all, then you feel like it's time to panic. Like, if there's any time to panic, now is the time. And they just do a beautiful job of illustrating that Rush told us that he would tell us when it was time to panic. And by the way, he still hasn't said it's time. And so it's still not time. Instead of panicking, it's still important to focus on our values, our ambitions, our mission, focus on love, focus on acceptance, focus on bringing our country forward. It continue to push out the ideals of Americanism, of achievement, of embracing every individual American and providing opportunity for them and seeking opportunity, which is very important. And so every morning I spend 20, 30 minutes just reading Rush's words about Americanism and patriotism and what it means to be a conservative, and his humor and the little Maha Rushy and the harmless little fuzzball. And this is not a book. And again, I'm only 140 something pages in. It's not a book that you sit down and read in one sitting. This is a book. This is like a fine cognac, or a nice fine cigar, or where you sip it, you take it in, you sit it down, you read some passages, and then you sit it down and you ponder. It's been, since the book arrived, I've read it every morning, slowly, meticulously taking notes and just savoring every single word. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Catherine and David, for putting this together and sharing it with us. And if you have someone in your life who is a conservative and is a Rush Limbaugh fan, and maybe you've noticed that they've been in a funk. My wife, a couple of days after I got this book, my wife is like, "You've changed." And I haven't changed. I've come back from where I was. I was in a very dark place, thinking the end of times is here. not quite understanding how to make it, what to make of everything that's going on in the world, and certainly our place in it as the beacon of hope, the beacon of freedom. That is what America is. We are the beacon. We're the lighthouse in the world for all people who are interested and really strive for and desire freedom. And we're the greatest, we're the luckiest people. So my wife was like, "You've changed." I haven't changed. You're smiling more. I'm like, I can't tell you how it's making my heart sing every morning. What a way to start my day every morning, being reminded of how special and important our mission is, and how important and special American idealism is, and how important and special Rush Limbaugh is to me. And so I know I'm a bit long. I'm a bit long. I don't mean to make this a real long thing. I just want to say that if you have someone in your life that is a conservative, that has any idea who Rush Limbaugh is or was, and you want to buy them a present for the holidays, this is the greatest gift you could get any conservative Rush Limbaugh fan. Hands down. I'm not making any money on this. I don't have a relationship. I'm not the publisher. I'm a reader. I'm a fan. I'm an American. I'm a lover of Rush Limbaugh and conservative idealism and Americanism. And this book has just made every day, it just makes me stronger, makes me more resilient. Rush told me he will tell me when it's time to panic, and guess what? He still hasn't told me it's time to panic. So who am I? I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to panic. Buy this book. Buy this. And if you haven't heard of Rush Limbaugh and you're looking around at America and all the craziness and you're like, oh my God, what is happening here? Well, buy this book. Learn who Rush Limbaugh is, the real anchorman, America's the only parent, the only person willing to be the adult in the room when no adult is willing to stand up for Americanism. No adult, nobody in higher power is willing to stand up for American values, for American people, like Rush Limbaugh did every day, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week on his radio program. This book solidifies all that. I'm long in this segment. Harmless little fuzzball. Buy this book. You will not regret it. I guarantee it. 5 stars is not enough. Not enough.